All right. Welcome to the Feed for Speed podcast. I am your host, Don Weatherwax, owner of Sports Nutrition to Go, where our mission is to build a better athlete by optimizing every stage of growth, health, and athleticism through sports nutrition that best fits the athlete. I am pleased today to have Annabelle. She is a client that came in almost over a year ago. She is cross-country track athlete. She might even tell you if she does any other ones, but that's what she's come in for. And I want to share her story with you. But before we get started, Annabelle, I just want to confirm you're here on your own free will, and I am not paying you for your time.
Yes.
All right. Okay, girl. So thanks again so much. And why I do these is I just feel you're so inspirational because you have so many things from a running standpoint of issues of other athletes that they might have. But please share with me why you came in. What was your reasoning for coming in the first time to Sports Nutrition to Go?
So when I first came in, my little sister is who found you, but I had started running in 7th grade as a really strong runner. I made it to state and finished 3rd in state. Nice. But then going into my next year of running, I started having really bad stomach problems that would cause me to stop, or I would fall over on the ground and be unable to finish.
Uh-huh.
My times kept getting slower and slower. And it kind of went into my freshman year. And then my sophomore year, I still had the stomach pains, and I would puke in the middle of races or puke at the end, which was I thought was really normal until I came to see you. And when we did scans, I had no clue. It was because I wasn't eating enough.
Uh-huh.
And first told me that I need to be eating around 1,000 calories more. I just felt it was a lot to take in because I had never thought that way.
Uh-huh.
And it was hard to believe, but when you told me that my times could be a minute faster, I just bought into it because I was well, my time's gonna be a minute faster, then I might as well do it.
Uh-huh.
And, so I started doing it, and at first I felt really full and I didn't feel great just because I had to eat so much more than I was used to.
Yeah. And what kind of things did you add? I mean, when you're gosh, God told me to eat 1,000 more calories, I bet your eyeballs about in the back of your head going, how am I going to do this? But yeah, what were you adding?
So I was for snacks, I would eat oatmeal, and I'd put almond butter, and I'd do coconut oil on top of my other meals, or olive oil.
So more healthy fat you found because your fats were low.
My portions a lot bigger too. For sweet potatoes, I wasn't eating nearly I probably twice the amount of sweet potatoes I did. Same with the rice.
Mm-hmm.
And I pretty much I just had to make my portions a lot bigger for my meals. And then if I needed more, I would add the almond butter along with it. And then I sometimes I'd even eat pancakes for a snack just because I really needed to up them. And sometimes I find that at meals, if my portions aren't big enough, then I just eat more often throughout the day.
Right.
So yeah. And then another thing, the first time you told me when I saw you was that I needed to start once cross country was over, I would start lifting in the off season.
Uh-huh.
I started doing that. And
so, because when you came in, right, we did your metabolism to see what you're burning. And then I looked at what you were eating, right? So that's how we found out, oh my gosh, I'm eating 1,000 calories less because we did your metabolism. And then you told me what you're eating. And I'm going, girlfriend, this is not matching up. We did a Mod Pod. That's our egg-shaped light chamber that measures body composition. And I remember saying, okay, we need some more power. What did you think about that when I said that on the lean weight aspect of things?
At first I was kind of I didn't take it personal, but then when you told me that it's not that I needed to lose weight, but I just needed to transfer it, that made it better. Because when you first look at it, you're oh, because it fat weight seems so bad, but then I'm no, I can do it. I can I like, if I set my mind to it, I know I can do it. And it's not that like I need to lose anything. I just need to make it a different type of like weight.
Right. Yeah. Because we want to just, what was like, hey, we need to put on so many pounds of muscle and just exchange, right? So you're eating and you're training, especially resistance, because running, a lot of times runners, you need more lifting because you're endurance athletes. Some endurance athletes, they have a good amount of lean weight, but most runners, that's not their strong suit, right? And you have to actually put on lean weight. And you have been doing that. Did you become the Mrs. Hulk after that? Or are you like really bulky right now because you've been or what have you noticed?
Yeah, like a lot of people like have like noticed how like my, like you can see more of my muscles now.
Yeah.
I can see the progress and it feels good to like see it's actually working.
Yeah. And tell people, so you added 1,000 calories, you definitely added more healthy fats. I think if you remind me right, protein timing was off, so we weren't getting the protein as high. And so probably the majority of the calories added in that 1,000 was, believe it or not, more protein, more throughout the day with more healthy fats. And then, but tell me, and I know you said the off season, so, but tell me how, before we got into your off season and started lifting more, how did you perform last year? What happened? Your tummy issues went where? Did they continue? They went away?
Are you talking about cross country or track?
Yeah, let's do cross country.
Okay. So when I came to see you, it was kind of towards the end of cross country.
Okay, see, you gotta have my brain cells. Yeah. Okay.
I started to do what you said, but it like I didn't see the progress yet because I feel like it was too early. I think there was only heats left of the season.
Okay, right. So more of this happened. So tell me what happened in track then.
But track was like a completely different story. That's when I like saw it all like together. So that was super, like,
what happened? Tell our people. So you went to track and what happened?
So we didn't really have a track season like the year before, but like I would say like my mile time was probably like never under, I don't think I ever ran under 6 unless it was middle school. I think in middle school I ran like 5:55, and then I never ran under since. But I ended up finishing the season with 5:23, which was the fastest on my team for girls. And then like every week I like got faster except for 1 week in the mile. So I cut off time a week. And then I was also really excited about my 2 mile. I only ran the 2 mile once, but the time 2 mile I ran 11:55. And the last time I ran the 2 mile like under 12 was in 7th grade, which it was still faster. It was 11:48, but I feel like if I got the opportunity to run it again, I could have got it. But next year
you haven't had very many opportunities because of COVID.
I was on my event, so I only got to do the 2 mile like once, and it was like in the middle of the season. So like next year I'm really excited to do that. But yeah, it was really exciting to see.
And tell them about what was your tummy issues, throwing up in the middle of practice or throwing up in the middle of a race. What happened?
I didn't have really any stomach issues. I don't think I ever puked. I just felt very strong. So
is that insane? I just think that's crazy. Like you were somebody who literally struggled eating enough of the right things at the right times. You embraced the lifting, you embrace and in your tummy. Like I cannot promise that for everybody, but for when you were telling me your tummy issues literally kind of went away, I go, man, I hope it's that simple for most people. But that was clearly you weren't eating enough. And that's sometimes not eating enough causes your tummy to be upset. And isn't that, it's just so backwards because you're thinking, I can't eat because I'm going to throw up. And then you found out by eating more and going into the race well nourished, because we did the muscle sound and we knew you were increasing the fuel in the muscles, that all of a sudden it was, oh, well, no, I can't eat and I'm not throwing up anymore. So, okay, you got to tell, because I just talked to you prior. So now it is in cross country season, and tell me what you just told me, which you guys, this is exciting. what your times were last cross country season and where you are right now.
So last cross country season, my PR was 19:59, and that race was in October. I just ran a 5K, I think July 26th, July 27th. That was the first time I ran a 5K since then, and I ran a 19:23.
So say it again. We started off at last time 1953, 59.
Yeah.
And you ran a 1923.
Yeah.
And you were shocked because you missed.
I was so shocked when I crossed the finish line, because when I had was approaching it, I saw the time go from this 59 to 0. So I just assumed, oh, I'm in it's in the 20s right now. But then I was getting closer and I was like, oh no, it's in the 19s. So then I got so excited that it started sprinting, and I was so shocked that when I crossed the finish line, I asked someone, I was like, is that the right time? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't believe it, because going into the race, my mom was like, what's your goal? And I was like, well, I guess I'll just try to get in the 20s. That would be. And then I was like, oh my gosh.
I hit I'm in the 19s.
Yeah, I'm like,
you even, because I asked you well, how did you feel? Because you even had more gas in the tank is what, if you were if it was a,
well, I didn't my stomach didn't hurt. I felt strong. And when I finished, I was like, I think I can get faster. I didn't feel terrible. I didn't feel like I had to fall over or anything like that. And before this race, during preseason, we started cross country practice. I set a goal that by the end of the season, I wanted to get 19:30. And then I was like, well, I gotta set a new goal, because I
know it's only August. I mean, literally the second week in August. It's awesome, right? And we're in the area of Ohio, and we have our little pocket is pretty fast. So, but we already figured if we stay healthy and you keep feeling well, there's a great chance that you could be heading to state.
Yeah, that's my goal,
right? It's hard to say it out loud, but
yeah, it's hard to say.
It is, but
but I got
you're already running a 1923, and you weren't you literally felt like you could run harder. So that's pretty exciting.
Yeah. I knew off at track season that I would be faster than last year. I just had no clue how much faster. So it was good running this to see. I remember during track season, when I kept improving my mile, I went to talk to my coach, because I just wanted a challenge. And I was like, hey coach, I know this might sound crazy, but I want to try to make it to regionals for track. What would my goal be to what time? And he was like, honestly, it's hard for you, because he said he didn't expect me to run any of those times based off of my cross country time from the prior. And I was like, yeah, I know. And so he said I'd have to run a 5:25 at the district meet to make it to regionals. So at the district meet, that was when I ran the 5:23. I didn't make it to regionals, but I was 5th place. And I got beat by a second, which would have got me to regionals. So I was bummed, but at the same time, I was really happy with how I finished. And I did what he said. I ran the time.
You ran faster than that time.
Yeah. It's fun to see all this progress. And I'm shocking a lot of people, because I improved by a lot. So it feels good.
A lot. Oh, yeah. So what would you like to tell people out there in your situation? What would you like to tell them about the nutrition step? I don't know, anything that you can think of if they might be hesitant, or I don't know, what would you like to say to the listeners out there about this journey so far that you've had with this piece in your training process?
Well, at first it might seem scary, just because, especially being a girl, I think thinking that you need to eat so much more, and we're in our society, a lot of girls don't eat a lot, and you think if you eat more, you're gonna get fat, you're gonna look a certain way. But I tell you that that's not true at all, especially if you do it the right way. it takes a lot of patience, and it can be frustrating, but it will pay off and it will make you feel better than ever when it's finished.
Yeah.
Along with that, like doing the strength training has helped me so much because I feel like the strength training can be challenging at first, but because it's so challenging, it makes the running almost easier. Like there's like it's less painful. Like when you run, I don't really have. So I feel like that can contribute a lot too. But yeah.
Awesome. So I have to ask you, what is your favorite healthy food?
No, I really like oatmeal. I eat oatmeal a decent amount.
Good. And this is the fun one. What is one or two of your favorite freebies or, cheats? I like to call them freebies, but what is still some of your favorite freebies that you like to still eat?
Soft serve ice cream is pretty good. I guess, yeah, probably that or maybe French fries.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, is there anything else that you would like to say to the listeners out there in this sporting world about this whole process or experience? And we'll go from there.
I just am really appreciative of all the help that you've gave, and I recommend that if anyone can come see you because you've changed my like I actually enjoy running so much more than I used to, and I never thought that I would love it this much. So
oh, that's so sweet. Oh my goodness, that is so kind.
Yeah.
I'm so happy for you because for me, I'm always like the chatty Kathy, and I am so excited for you and this season, and I'm glad you can reap the rewards. But I will also say it's been fun working with you because I see a lot of athletes. And not every athlete listens and not everybody follows through, right? Because they're scared or they're not ready yet or, but you're an ambassador. I always tell my athletes that come to this point on a podcast is you're like the ambassador to share with others that when they're not eating enough or you're like, no, you have to eat. And
yeah.
No, you're not going to get big and fat because you hate to say it like that, but that's what people are thinking is that's why you don't eat enough because you're like, well, if I weigh more, I am told I'm going to be slower. And you're like, no, I am actually so much faster. And then I do need you to tell the people what happened when you text me a couple of weeks ago. What did I end up telling you? You asked me what? When you text me, what did you ask me?
Oh, I was updating you on how many miles I was running a week. Are you talking about that time?
Yeah,
So I'm running 40 miles a week. And then I told you I was doing around an hour of strength training 6 days a week. And I was like, how many calories should I be eating? And then you were like 2,800, 3,200. And I was like, my mouth dropped because I knew I wasn't eating that much. Because since track season, my workouts have gotten my miles went up, and then I also upped my strength training. So then I was like, oh my goodness, I know I need to be eating more. So I had to do that, and I'm still adjusting it, but I know it's gonna work, and I know I need to because cross country is a lot more miles than track.
Yeah.
So
and tell me what happened again. Like you were saying something to me where, oh my gosh, I gotta just do it. I know you kind of knew, but you didn't, and your tummy. Talk about that because it never stops, does it? You have to keep going through the process again.
Yeah. Well, when I first started, when I'm starting to eat more again, and my stomach does feel more full, but when I'm running, I still don't have any pain, and I can't remember the last time I puked, so I know it's working. And something my mom told me was that it's like if you don't put enough gas in your tank, how do you expect your car to drive all these miles? And it makes a lot of sense. It's just if we don't eat enough, how do we expect our legs to keep up with our body or or anything?
Yeah. And so it's funny because you've had all this positive experience, but still sometimes you're like, oh my gosh, she just told me to eat more. The day she tells me I don't have to eat more, I'm going to be excited. But you still have to talk yourself through it, right? Going, okay, I've been through this. I know I need to eat more because I'm doing more.
Yeah.
And I just have to know that my tummy is going to be kind of full, but it will work itself out, and we just make adjustments as we go along. So, well, I am so excited for you, because we probably will have to do one at the, hopefully we'll have you back in November to see, because the goal, right? When you fuel well, the biggest thing is you're going to do, we can't control everything, but you're setting up your success of optimizing every practice, right? Because you're feeling well, and you're like, Dawn, I absolutely love running again, which you would think that you would already, I'm thinking to myself, well, don't you already love running? That's your sport. But sometimes it's not as fun anymore because you don't feel as good. And now you're going, oh my gosh, I actually feel good.
Yeah.
And I'm enjoying running because I feel good, which then means I would think you could run faster or hold a pace better.
Like very strong, where in the past I didn't feel strong. I felt more like I was like pushing to get through it, where like when I finish a workout, I feel like I could do it again sometimes. Or
or did you see any difference on soreness and recovery?
Well, I've also like with all of this, I've made sure that I've been stretching more and taking more Epsom salt baths. So like,
good.
Like I recover better, and like when we have a hard workout the next day, I'm still like, I'm not terribly sore like I used to be, because I feel like I take better care of myself.
Yeah. And so it's everything, right? You got to sleep well, you got to hydrate, you got to eat enough protein. The list goes on and on, but you're back, because I think you were even saying, man, am I going to be as fast as I thought I could be? Because that was also a concern. And now you're getting times where you're setting up the environment of everything that you can control, right? To feel good, to recover, to get ready for the next day and feel good. So if the body can recover, then the chances of you getting injured, like, right, knock on wood, you've really minimized that.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, because you're not having to fight through pain and discomfort and didn't know it was from probably not fueling enough of the right things.
Yeah.
Oh, girl, I can't wait. I just know no matter what happens this season, you have literally been a beacon for others, and I think a beacon for yourself to know how much potential you can have. And it's been awesome that you wanted to do this with me. And thank you again for the kind words, because I love helping people, but it's more fun to hear how you've gotten better. So any last words before we sign off?
No, but I just want to say thank you for having me.
Oh, I'm glad you said yes. And I hate this kind of stuff. You guys are like, I'm going to do it. I'm like, okay, I'm going to do it. But well, Annabelle, it's been a pleasure. And whatever happens, I know that you are giving it your all, and I'm excited for you, and thank you. And for the listeners out there, I just want to say this is Dawn Weatherwax from Sports Nutrition to Go with the Feed for Speed podcast. I hope you have a great and healthy day.